And so a
Thanks
big
for
win.
having me.
Absolutely. A big win for Dorman last night over Byrnes to help Dorman get a little bit closer to a region championship. Coach, talk about the big win last night.
Yeah, they're a very physical team. They've got some really good coaching in the last couple of years, and they've come a long way from the beginning. You know, lacrosse here in South Carolina years ago was to put the ball on the ground and see who could pick it up. You know, now it's getting much more like it's supposed to be played, and they've come a long way, and they've always battled us hard. We dropped the first game to them, and the boys really wanted to get this one, and I thought we had it going there for a while, and we had about a 4-goal lead, and then they just kept battling back, and we made a couple of foolish mistakes, but they hung in there, and we got the win, so it was a great win for us.
Coach, Byrnes last night, John Woodruff, had 13 saves for the Rebels. A pretty low-scoring game. I know it was 8-7. We've seen games get a lot higher scoring, but sounds like a good defensive game last night.
I understand that he's a JV goalie, just moved up also. That kid did a outstanding job, you know, and just held him in there. I think we hit him 3 or 4 or 5 times and could have put the game away, but he battled hard there. He did a great job. They're a very strong defensive team.
Coach,
very physical.
For those that don't know, Coach, that really just only focus on football, basketball, baseball, etc., talk about how big lacrosse has gotten in the upstate, especially in this region, and how tough this region is.
Well, you know, I always relate football and basketball and lacrosse. I mean, I think boys, all kids, need to play multiple sports. And I grew up doing that in Long Island. Played football, played lacrosse, you know, but when lacrosse starts, it always seems to be a football game, you know, and kids are just coming out from football, playing that game. They want to knock people down and play the game. But finesse lacrosse is really the game. And you'll see it with the youth programs we have now. And that's the key to all of this is the youth. We have an outstanding youth program. Joel Neuter runs that program for us, and the boys that are playing our game now, the ball's flying around. We've got kids that have broken the 100-goal mark in careers, which, you know, is records for Dorman. Has never started that, never done that before. This is all from the youth, and the kids that are playing this game now are starting to understand how the ball needs to move around. And the coaching has really helped from the past. You know, beginning it was football coaches coaching the sport. Now it's lacrosse coaches moving in coaching the sport. So it's grown. It's grown big time.
Coach, I got a couple of questions. One, do you have any dual sport players that one plays another sport other than lacrosse?
We have one football player, Addison Wilkins. He played defensive back for the Cavaliers this year. Did a great job for them as a senior. He's our face-off kid. He's learned over the years. And just if you got a quick second, but when we first had him come with us, and he's a heck of an athlete and wins a face-off and then throws the ball away because of his stick skills. You know, it's hard to develop stick skills if you don't work on them. And I'd have to call a timeout to get the ball, to keep the ball. And eventually I had to tell Allison, we got 2 timeouts, and you just used them up, so you don't play no more. And so he learned that I got to get the ball to somebody. And last night, as the first time I seen him throw the ball in a backwards direction to go forwards, he's learned, he's grown. He had his 300th career face-off last night. Just a tremendous effort from that boy.
That's great.
So he's a football guy. We got some swimmers. Pretty much that's it.
Right.
We have one basketball player that left basketball and is now with us. It's tough with this all year-round sports for kids to play 2 sports.
Right. Do you have a player that is kind of standing out this year than past years?
No, not really. I think we're balanced. I think that's what really helps us. We have a young boy, a freshman, Carson Skinner, who we thought we'd keep on JV. We try to build our program from the ground up is what we're trying to do when I first got there. But, you know, it's tough with the numbers game. So we had a big decision with Carson to bring him or keep him on JV. You know, our JV program's doing well. But we did bring him up, and he's having an outstanding season. I think right now he's got 21 goals and 9 assists as a freshman. We have Charlie Guest, who does great job on attack. He's a junior who's been with our program as a freshman. He just had his 100th career point not long ago, so he's set another record for Dorman. Michael Lyons is another one that's at 99 points, and he's another junior, started with us as a freshman. Ty Neuter came on as a freshman. We had a lot of these young kids that we're now reaping the benefits from. We have 12 seniors we're going to lose, and that's going to hurt us a little bit, but, they've given us a lot of leadership this year.
How long has lacrosse been at Dorman?
I came there in 2014, and I think probably they started a couple years after the other schools in Greenville County started it. Mm-hmm. So it's probably been there 10, 12 years.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, Coach, with the season a little more than halfway done, a big win over Byrnes last night that you talked about, what does the upcoming schedule look like for Dorman, and what does Dorman need to do to really clinch the region?
Well, we got to beat Spartanburg next Friday. That's our last region game. We have a couple non-region games. JL Man is always a tough one for us. We're going to be playing, which we'd love to get people come out and see that on April 10th. On a Saturday, we're going to be playing John Carroll, a Maryland private school, which is going to be a big test for us, kind of giving us a showing where we're going to go in the playoffs. Then we have Christ Church, and then we go to playoffs. So we're hoping to get a fairly good seed again. But we've had number one seeds and never got through that first round of the playoffs. So that's our goal this year, is to go deep in the playoffs. Compete for a state championship. The boys are excited about that, and they're working to get to that point.
Coach, before we let you go, Coach Ron Cadorette joining the program, head lacrosse coach of the Dorman Cavaliers. Coach, you talked about 12 seniors leaving. How do you replace 12 seniors when they leave you this year?
It's our youth program. We did move one boy up right now because of an injury. So for the roster, we don't have a lot of numbers, but we have a lot of quality of kids, and it starts in our youth program. So we have about 7 or 8 solid boys in that JV program that are going to come up, and hopefully they fit into the system. We got some really outstanding coaches. Dorman is one of the schools that I can't say enough about. The support staff, Dr. Owens, Mr. Kaiser, the principal, Flynn, Harold, our AD. What we need, they get us. They got a tremendous respect for athletics and education. And these boys work hard in their younger programs, and they come up to us. So it's a thing. We've got a system. We've got a culture. We're training these kids, and hopefully they just replace them, and we just keep moving on.
Great stuff, Coach. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to talking to you soon, and good luck the rest of the season, Coach.
Appreciate you having me on. Thanks so much.